The film opens on the bustling streets of Paris, with the city preparing to celebrate Bastille Day. Out of nowhere, a naked woman appears there, capturing everyone's attention. Among the crowd, there is Michael Mason, a clever American conman with a knack for pickpocketing. Let's see him pick a pocket that's naked. Seeing everyone distracted, he deftly steals wallets, cell phones, and various belongings from people. Later, we get to know that the woman is actually Michael's accomplice, and he had paid her 300 euros to create this diversion. In the next scene, we are introduced to CIA agent Sean Breyer, a seasoned operative who finds himself in trouble after a recent mission he was working on goes awry. He's questioned and interrogated about the failure by his seniors and is taunted for not being able to save one of his colleagues. However, Sean defends himself, claiming he calculates the risks and prioritizes completing the mission. The scene then shifts to another character, Gene, a man with malicious intentions. He inserts an explosive device inside a teddy bear and instructs his girlfriend Zoe to discreetly place it in an office at the French Nationalist Party headquarters. Zoe initially hesitates, apprehensive about the potential danger to innocent lives, but Jean's persuasion wins her over, and she decides to proceed with the task. The plan is to send a threatening message, but the office is supposed to be empty at the time of the explosion. Meanwhile, Michael wastes no time and promptly sells the stolen items to a shady figure named Baba. In return for his loot, he receives a generous reward of 900 euros. On the other hand, Zoe arrives at the destined location, carrying the teddy bear in her handbag. She plants it as suggested, but at the same time, some people enter the office unexpectedly. This is enough to change Zoe's mind, so she decides to abort the mission and takes the handbag with her. Outside, Michael is watching her as she talks anxiously to her boyfriend over the phone. Assuming that she has something very precious in her bag, he steals it and runs away. Unbeknownst to Michael, the handbag contains the teddy bear bomb, along with Zoe's cell phone. After a while, Jean calls Zoe again and Michael picks it up. Upon hearing a man's voice, Michael instinctively hangs up and, oblivious to the imminent danger, leaves the bag on the side of the road. Tragically, as he walks away up a couple of steps, the bomb detonates, resulting in the loss of 4 innocent lives. Because of the explosion, chaos ensues, and Michael flees the scene. Though the explosion does not occur at the intended location, its impact sends shockwaves through the city. Meanwhile, Rafi, the mastermind behind the blast, issues a menacing threat to the French government, warning of further attacks within the next 36 hours. In Paris, journalists flock to question Mr. Victor, the head of French intelligence, about the city's safety after the bombing and the threat. In reply, Victor assures them that the perpetrators will be caught soon and promises that the Bastille Day parade will continue as planned. Next, the CIA surveillance unit receives Michael's photo from a security camera and sends it to both the CIA and Interpol. Soon, they find out that Michael is a pickpocketer and has a troubled past, born in Las Vegas to a casino boss father and a realtor mother. They also get to know that his father's gambling debts led Michael to drop out of school and turn to fraud to survive, eventually ending up in France. Sean is then assigned with the mission to secretly arrest Michael at his apartment and hand him over to the French government. On the other hand, Michael is at his apartment, worried and looking through the news channels. Right then, he notices his picture being broadcasted on TV as a wanted criminal responsible for the bomb blast. At the same time, he senses the authorities closing in on him, so he frantically tries to flee from there. Unfortunately, Sean notices him running away, and a lengthy chase ensues. Michael tries his best to evade the veteran operative, but in the end, he is eventually caught. Afterward, he is brought to an interrogation room and asked about his sole purpose for the bombing. Michael truthfully confesses that he threw the bag, but it didn't belong to him. He had actually stolen it from a woman wearing a blonde wig named Zoe. He also hands over Zoe's mobile phone that he stole before the explosion. Sean is a bit skeptical about the story, so to test his skills, he asks Michael to pickpocket his wallet. As expected, the conman does it successfully, without even breaking a sweat.
Look, boobs! Got it.
At Jean's house, Zoe is distressed, believing that she caused the deaths of 4 innocent people in the bombing. Jean consoles Zoe and suggests she leave Paris, mentioning that his boss will not leave her alive. Meanwhile, Rafi and his men decide to go to Jean's house to find Zoe. They trace her phone's signal, unaware that the phone is actually with Sean and Michael. When Rafi arrives at the location disguised as a mailman, Sean senses trouble and prepares for confrontation. However, the bad guys easily overpower him and beat him up. During the chaos, Michael also manages to escape. Soon, Rafi and his men realize that they have arrived at the wrong house, so they run away from the scene. Sean then reports to his senior Tom and decides to search for Zoe to uncover the larger truth behind the incident. Elsewhere, in his office, Victor is informed about the location of the bomb manufacturers, after which he demands to meet the head of a special police force called Rapid. Soon, he is introduced to the commander of Rapid, who turns out to be none other than Rafi. Right then, they receive urgent intel about a potential terrorist threat in an Arabian immigrant settlement. Without delay, Rafi and his Rapid team rush to the location to investigate. Upon arrival, the team conducts a swift and forceful raid on the settlement. In a disturbing turn of events, one of the officers discreetly plants a bomb on the premises to frame the innocent immigrants and create a false report. Tragically, all the immigrants are apprehended, and the blame for the bombing falls on them, while the real culprit, Michael, remains a fugitive and an asshole. Elsewhere, Michael, unaware of where to seek refuge, goes to his client Baba, a supposed friend. Initially, Baba listens to his problem and offers him a place to live, but after a while, he backstabs him and locks him in a room. Turns out, Baba met with the officials and was enticed by the government's promise of providing his family with French citizenships in return for his help in capturing Michael. After a while, Rafi and his team arrive at the building and begin searching for Michael. Desperate to escape, Michael finds a small crack in the wall and hides there, evading detection as Rafi and his team surround the building. He waits for the perfect moment to make a run for his life. Eventually, he seizes his chance and dashes outside, unaware that a sniper has him in his sights. However, just before the sniper can take a fatal shot, Sean arrives in the nick of time and rescues Michael. Meanwhile, Zoe manages to reach her friend's hideout, seeking safety from the dangerous situation. Later that day, Sean and Michael gather intel on Zoe's whereabouts and set out to find her. Unfortunately, when they reach the hideout and inquire with Zoe's friends about her, they are attacked. To make matters worse, the goons set fire to Sean's car before running away. Next, in their quest to track down Zoe's associates, they come up with a plan. Sean extracts Zoe's friend's Paul's information from her phone, and Michael, with his expert pickpocketing skills, infiltrates Paul's workplace and manages to obtain his ID card. With the information from the ID card, they track Paul's house's location, and when they visit there, find Zoe hiding inside. Sean immediately confronts her, and under pressure, she confesses that her boyfriend Gene ordered her to carry out the bombing despite her refusal. She also mentions that the bomb was meant as a form of attack against fascism, but when she realized innocent lives were at risk, she decided to abandon the mission. Following this, the three set out to confront Gene at his apartment, but encounter Rafi along the way. Fortunately, they narrowly evade his pursuit. In another part of the city, a massive anti-fascist demonstration erupts following an unprovoked attack on Arab immigrants in a mosque. Online protests gain momentum as people rally to support the movement. However, little do they know that the chaos is being orchestrated by Rafi and corrupt police officers. In reality, Rafi's men spread a fake video of police torturing Arab demonstrators to escalate tensions. Meanwhile, when Sean, Zoe, and Michael reach Gene's apartment, they are shocked to discover that he has been killed by Rafi. Sean identifies his tattoo, and on searching around the house, he finds an ID. It reveals that Gene was part of the Rapid unit. This is when it finally dawns on Sean that Rafi and his men have been posing as police officers and creating chaos. Wasting no time, he immediately reports this shocking revelation to his supervisor, Karen, and exposes the corrupt Rapid squad's involvement in the bombing and framing of innocent immigrants. Karen, however, suggests he stay away from Rapid and decides to hand over the case to French intelligence since it is beyond the CIA's jurisdiction. She then arranges a meeting with Victor to expose him to the truth. Unfortunately, after Karen provides him with the information, Victor shoots her to death and reveals himself as the mastermind behind the entire incident. He mentions that he orchestrated the bombings and threats to incriminate Arab immigrants and plunge the city into chaos. Afterward, Victor orders his men, including Rafi, to capture Sean, Zoe, and Michael and eliminate them secretly. But when the Rapid squad arrives at the location, the trio somehow manages to escape. Meanwhile, online demonstrators gather millions of supporters, unknowingly playing into Victor's grand scheme. In the next scene, Victor manipulates public perception with a press conference and falsely promises maximum security measures. He also orders Rapid to guard the National Bank. Sean, realizing that Karen is dead, reports Victor's true intentions to his senior officer Tom. However, Tom is skeptical due to Victor's position as the head of French intelligence. Determined to stop Victor's plot, Sean takes matters into his own hands and decides to secure the bank himself. He leaves Michael and Zoe in the van and enters the bank alone, disguised as a police officer. As soon as he walks in, Sean takes down down some guards at the entrance and equips himself with their weapons. Inside the building, he faces multiple challenges, as the police have complete control of the security system and are currently disabling all alarms and cameras. At the same time, Rafi and his colleague Christoph target a digital money reserve worth 500 million euros, intending to steal it using a flash drive. As Sean's disguise is discovered, after he eliminates a couple of officers, the rapid team surrounds him and begins firing at him. Outside, with the firing going on, Zoe and Michael learn that Sean is in trouble and decide to assist him. They walk into the crowd and incite a riot, using the chaos to breach the police barricade. With this distraction, Sean manages to fight off the police officers and eliminate them. He then walks towards the vault and confronts Rafi, who has the flash drive containing the stolen money. After this, an intense gunfight ensues between the two parties. Sean manages to incapacitate Christoph, but Rafi escapes to a locked room. From there, he contacts Victor and requests to rescue him from the situation. However, to his dismay, Victor refuses to do so, and in response, Rafi threatens to expose his plans if he gets caught. On the other hand, Sean contacts Michael and urges him to steal the flash drive from Rafi. Obeying the order, Michael cleverly collides with Rafi while he is walking out, and pulls the flash drive from his pocket. However, the latter soon finds out about it, because there was no naked lady to distract his attention. So, he takes Zoe hostage and threatens to harm her unless Michael returns the flash drive. But right then, the cops present at the scene shoot Rafi and kill him on the spot. Turns out Victor ordered the assassination, as he feared Rafi would expose his wrongdoings. In the aftermath, Victor is hailed as a hero for exposing the corrupt police syndicate, while Michael remains a wanted fugitive. Victor then seeks Baba's help to track down Michael's whereabouts, as he is desperate for the flash drive worth 500 million in digital currency. Baba doesn't want to deceive his friend again, but when the cunning Victor threatens him, he spreads false news about a high-paying buyer for the flash drive. In the next scene, Michael falls into Victor's trap and goes to meet him at a church, believing he is the supposed flash drive buyer. As the two come face to face, Victor offers him money and a passport to leave the country in exchange for the flash drive. Surprisingly, Michael accepts his offer and hands over the drive. However, once Victor gets what he wants, he points a gun at Michael, planning to eliminate him as a witness. What he doesn't know is that Michael, Sean, and the police have set a trap to get his confession and take him under control. The movie then ends with Victor getting arrested and his sinister plot being exposed. Michael's cunning maneuvers and Sean's intelligence help bring Victor to justice, and the truth prevails. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.